Chapter 3, Understanding the Community. This is Travis Van Vleck. Customs and Traditions. Rossville, Kansas became a third-class community in June of 1881. It was named after their first pioneer, William W. Ross. It's a conservative community that prides itself on religion, family, and athletics. The majority of people travel to the Topeka area for work and for their shopping needs. German ancestors make up 26% of the population and the Irish 18%. The rest is a large cluster of various cultural backgrounds. Myself, I grew up in Rossville. I come from a Dutch background, and we make up about 4%. Rossville High School is in Call Valley USD 321 School District. It's actually now Rossville Junior Senior High School. It's a 712 building. The mission statement is to provide a quality, equitable education, allowing all students to maximize their potential in acquiring and developing the skills, knowledge, and attitudes to become productive, responsible citizens in our ever-changing multicultural global society. That is a mouthful. Change is something that is not always accepted, but has started to show improvements over the past few years. Policy is often driven by what happens in neighboring communities. For instance, St. Mary's, since it is in the same school district as Rossville. Traditions. The Tall Corn Festival is held every year in August. Years ago, it was actually held on July 4th weekend and has now moved over the last 15 years to the second week in August. The Christmas Festival Parade is held the first Saturday in December. No population characteristics. About 6% of the population has an associate's, 16% has a bachelor's, and about 5% has completed a graduate degree. Almost everyone in Rossville speaks English, 98%, with just 2% speaking Spanish. 320 males and 313 females make up the Rossville side of the district. That includes the grade school and the high school. Ethnicity in Rossville, not all that diverse. 92% are white, 4% native, 2% Hispanic, 1% Asian, and 1% African American. Religion is much more diverse in Rossville. A third of the people are Catholic, 34%, 14% Methodist, 10% Baptist, 6% Lutheran, 5% Christian, and 31% see themselves as a part of another denomination. Myself, I make up that other 31%. I go to a Nazarene church. Occupation. Farming, education, construction, manufacturing, and retail are the major industries in Rossville. We will get into that in a little bit more depth a little bit later. Knowing the population characteristics of a community fits in directly with Standard 1. Collecting information and data to better create a vision for the school is vitally important. You have to understand the way the community is and who makes up that community to better facilitate a better vision for the school. Know your communication channels. There's the website for the City of Rossville and the phone number for City Hall. The school website is there below. That is actually the district website, which will have a link to all the different schools in the district. Rossville is a small town. They do not have their own radio or television networks. Most of the information they get is from the Topeka newscasts. The radio stations 94.5, V100, and 580 WIBW AM, all out of Topeka, will give information on the Rossville schools. Television, the CBS affiliate WIBW 13, the NBC affiliate KSNT 27, and the ABC affiliate KTKA 49, all out of Topeka, Kansas, follow Rossville education and athletics. The newspaper. The Topeka Capital Journal is a daily newspaper. You can look at it on cjonline.com. And the St. Mary's Star, which is a weekly newspaper, also follows the educational makeup of the district and the athletics in the area. There's very little foreign language impact in Rossville. The majority of people get their information from the local TV networks, the Capital Journal, and the St. Mary's Star. Know your community groups. The Rossville community groups are as follows. The Rossville Community Foundation, they raise money. They give out a scholarship every year to a Rossville High School student. They also use their money to help support other projects that are going on in Rossville. The Pride Committee is a committee that is always looking for ways to beautify the city and to make it better. Their biggest task they've taken on is they built a new playground in the Rossville City Park. It was a $250,000 park. $150,000 was paid for by private donations, and $100,000 was paid for through grant money. The RCDC group, Rossville Community Development Committee, is always looking for new ideas and new ways to get businesses to come to Rossville. The American Legion, post number 31, is also active in Rossville athletics and other community activities. The Rossville schools. Policy, curriculum, and textbooks are all approved by administration first. Typically, the teachers figure out what they want, take that to their principal. The principal takes it to the superintendent, and then the superintendent asks the school board for approval. The chain of command is very strong in this school district. Once approved, the school board has final say. School politics is very strong here. Those who have the loudest voice are usually the ones who are heard. School politics has caused a large amount of staff turnover. The superintendent was non-renewed and is in his last year on his contract. The St. Mary's principal has left, the assistant principal has left, and the Rossville assistant principal has left, all in the last few months. Politics affects schools. It fits in with Standard 6. You have to have an understanding of how politics affects the schools. Politics in this district goes back many years. In 1982, they built 2 high schools, one in St. Mary's, one in Rossville. At that time, they did discuss consolidation, but it didn't go very far. 20 years later, in 2002, again they discussed consolidating the high schools, and in 2003, they actually voted to consolidate the high schools. They had made plans to do it. There was an election in April, and in June they voted to reverse the decision to keep both high schools. So as you can see, politics in Call Valley USD 321 is nothing new. School organizations and groups. There's a site council, a TASMAD, and a booster club. TASMAD stands for Take a Second, Make a Difference. It's been a group that's been around now for many years. What's neat about this group, it's made up of students, staff, and community leaders. What's also unique about this group is you must be voted into the group, and only students get to vote. They know they can vote for staff, other students. They may vote for cooks, janitors. Makes no difference. All that they have to know, their only criteria, is to vote for people they think are good leaders, good people, and want to make a difference in the community and the school. Rossville has seen a rise in student enrollment as it accepts more and more out-of-district kids from the Topeka area who are looking for a smaller school setting. Official community groups do not have much impact in school politics. Unofficial parent groups have managed to get coaches and teachers non-renewed over the past few years. Know your leadership. The Rossville community leaders. There is a 5 city council members and a mayor. I'm one of the 5 city council members. I'm actually in my 4th year. City council meetings take place on the 1st and 3rd Mondays of each month. There is a city hall, which is downtown, and there is the phone number. We have a county commissioner that lives in Rossville and is highly respected and a strong community leader. She was the mayor of Rossville at one time as well. People look to her for vision and advice all the time. Call Valley USD 321 has a 7-member school board. 2 board members are from Rossville, 2 are from St. Mary's, 2 are from the north part of the district, and 1 at large. The superintendent is currently Jim McDaniel. The Rossville Junior Senior High School principal is Toby McCullough, and the new athletic director is Derek Dick. Rossville Grade School principal is Ann McCullough. The coaches in this school are some of the strongest leaders in the community. They take part in many activities outside of coaching, and community members look to them for guidance. When the teams they coach are not performing well, the community members immediately look to the school board to replace them. So as you can see, there is an ever-changing leadership role in Rossville. Community leaders' characteristics. All members of the city government are men. Half the members have moved into Rossville. The other half have lived here most of their lives. City council meetings have an open forum at every meeting. All council members have released phone numbers and email addresses to the public. Community continues to grow and add much needed businesses. The mayor attends meetings with other mayors from Shawnee County as well as the county commissioners. I'm on the city council and contact neighboring communities to discuss various topics. Although 3 hours away, I've started to build a relationship with the city of Ellis and gain valuable information from them as well. My wife, her father actually retired recently from Fort Hays State, and her stepmom was the city clerk in Ellis for many years, so I often ask her many questions, and she's able to give me some valuable information and who I may need to talk to as well. The citizens of Rossville are encouraged to bring complaints, ideas, or policy ideas to the elected leaders. There are various ways to contact these leaders. They may call, email, or attend a city council meeting. I figured I'd have a lot of calls being on city council. That's not true. I actually get more emails, and I actually see a lot of people attending city council meetings to talk in that open public forum. Here's just some economic information. The unemployment rate in Rossville is about 7%. Just in 2000, it was only about 1%. So the tough economic times have made their way to Rossville. The median income in Rossville is about $46,000. Most of the land that's used for farming is for soybeans and corn, cattle farming, and actually some hog farming as well. The median value of an owner-occupied home is $130,000. That number is a little bit higher than most areas, mostly because it's so close to the Topeka area. You can have the luxury of a small town, but yet be 15 minutes away from Topeka. About 41% of all students in the Rossville side of the district are on free and reduced lunches. Sales tax rate in Rossville is 8.45%. Property tax is about 1.5% of the value of the home. There's no public transportation in Rossville. Most patrons walk or drive around in their car. There are various businesses in Rossville, as you can see below. Unfortunately, most of those businesses only employ a couple of people. New businesses have made their way into Rossville. Casey's General Store, which is a 24-hour general store and has provided jobs for many people. The Modus Group, which manufactures electronic switchboards. A couple of guys that have graduated from Kansas State with engineering degrees have started that up, and it's been very successful. They've actually built onto their original building just in 2 years. Toucan T-shirt designs, and the district office is located in St. Mary's, and the information is there. Rossville City Council has all voting power on city ordinances and mill levies. The City Council looks to the department heads, the city clerk, city attorney for valuable info on what's best for the city. The city attorney in Rossville is excellent. He's been there since 1984, and he is always able to give much needed information. The city of Rossville had an operating budget in 2012 of about $1.1 million. For the school district, for 2013, Governor Brownback reports taking 63% of the general fund and puts that money into education. About $250,000 came from the federal government in 2011 and 12, and almost $4 million was given in state aid. More money was given for specialized areas such as at-risk and special ed, and our local mill levy. Our total budget was around $8.7 million. With the recent state budget cuts, USD 321 had to close Emmett Grade School at the end of the 2010 school year, and Delia Charter School closed at the end of the 2009 school year. The staff in each of these buildings will be faced with challenges of offering more services in critical areas with less personnel, less pay, and less resources to meet the needs of students. Social tensions. There's growing diversity in Rossville. It's a small town. There's no gangs. Cliques. There's a couple noticeable cliques in Rossville, usually based on social status, religion, religious affiliation, and based on association with key community members. Discrimination. No noticeable discrimination within the school system. There are a select few traditionalists in the community who discriminate against those who are not like them. I don't think this is all that uncommon in a small town, unfortunately. Causes. Religious differences is one major cause. And the second major cause is the fear of the unknown. As the big city closes in on the small town, diversity continues to grow. Diversity for our kids is a great thing. It's a great thing for the community. This is Travis Van Vlick, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this presentation.